All right, I have the porch roof shingled. Now I need to, and I had to cut it in and fit it around the shingles or the trim on the house and in the corners and down there. And up here I started one shingle on the roof. Where are you here? I started one shingle on the roof and I had to fit it in around the trim. So now I have to put on what is called a ridge cap. And it's the shingles that go here. So I've cut them to angle like the roof. Except okay, it goes here like this. And this one goes here like that. It'll look like that. And I'll go all the way up this here edge. It finishes the edge, just like on the peak of your house. So that's what I'm working on now, and I'm going to get the trim. I also need to cut more trim, and it's going to go right up underneath the roof edge and the top of the porch, because that'll finish that off. I need to cut a piece and paint it for there, and cut a piece and paint it for there, and here at these corners I'll be cutting a 45-degree angle so it'll make the corner effortlessly. I just wanted to show you a little bit about how I cut around the trim. Now right here I have already cut that one, and I glued it on the line it's supposed to be on, and I got my overhang. But I also know that because the shingle is 1 1/4 inches long, and if I were to put it on that line, the fit's not correct. You can see how the fit is wrong. So I'm going to have to splice or cut away part of the shingle to fit around here. So I put a shingle up here, and I put a mark on how wide the cutout part needed to be, and then I kind of guessed how far back I needed to cut so I would be able to notch it out. So that being said, I notched it out. Now I fitted it, and it's pretty darn close. But the shingle was also the same width as this one, because I just took a regular shingle and I cut that space out. And when you're shingling, you want them staggered. So that wasn't going to work. So I needed to cut some off the shingle so that when I put the next one up, here's the shingle mark, there's the next shingle, and it would indeed be staggered. And you want them staggered because on a real house, your shingles are staggered because it doesn't give the rain a direct path to travel to get through the seams down to your roof to rot it out. So what I mean is, okay, you have shingles here. These are shingles. Now if you were to go the next shingles directly right above it, the rain has a direct path to get through all these shingles down to your roof. So that's why you stagger them, because it would not have a direct seam to get into. When this seam comes here, it's already over the top of a full shingle. So it just keeps cascading down. And that's why you stagger your shingles. So that's why we are staggering the dollhouse shingles, because it's a roof. So right here now I'm putting the cap on the peak here. This is glue. This is drying, so I thought I would come up here and work. Today we're going to put the trim on that we made here, and we're going to, all right, put this on up here, there, and it looks like a good fit. We're going to go ahead and clamp this on. That, I'm thinking, is a better way. There. Now I need to get this run here. Looks good. Let it dry. So the next step we have to do now is we have to get this part of the ridge cap on. And that's going to be a little bit of a detail. What we need to do is we need to cut it in half first, which is what I've been doing. Okay, we're going to take our scissors and cut it in half, following the mark we made. And what I've been doing is trimming some of this off in here. So it's at, instead of like this, it's at like that, at an angle, to accommodate the hump here. So it'll lay more flat to the roof surface. I want to try and keep the cut edges together because that makes a lot nicer fit. Okay, now I have this mark here, right here, is what I've been measuring to try to get the chimney or the shingle placement pretty much even. So I'm going to take and mark this one here because that's the end of where the two pieces of shingles that I cut, and I lost the other piece. Okay, go. So we're going to take this one and put it up there where the mark is. And we need to mark where we're going to start cutting it or notching it out because this is, it's not, this one here has got to go at an angle because it's not squared. It's, so I don't know if you can see my mark. It's got to go in there to accommodate the notch and then come down at an angle here to accommodate that. So let's see if I guessed right with and I just broke my shingle. Let me just try cutting it here. See what kind of fixing I need to do. And that looks to me almost perfect. So I'm going to go ahead and copy that measurement on here, this other one. And see how we go with placing it. Okay, there, it fits. And we'll measure to see if I've got, and it's very, very close to where we need it to be. So let's go ahead and take some glue and glue this down. And put this on. Actually, you could take just a little bit of a notch out of that corner because it's stopping it from. See, I took it from being straight across to just notching it just ever so slightly there. So it will fit that. And it looks like it's a much tighter fit. Oh, and I lost my other, oh, it's up here. And because the angle is just a little bit different on these, this side, I don't think I need to notch it. This one I need to make just a little bit more of a notch. So you need to shave just minute amounts off. And I think I'm going to sand this just a little bit to make it a nice straight. Now we'll tape it down because this, and that's how we do detailed ridge cap corners. Now you can see where I've got a good start on this. So we're going to clear some of this stuff to the back a little bit and go ahead and get going on this. So I'm going to shingle for a while and then I'll bring you back so you can see what kind of progress I've made here. You can go a few rows and then you have to stop and let the glue set up, otherwise your shingles are scooting all over the place. So while that is setting up, then we're going to keep, maybe I'll start this little roof here just to keep progress going ahead. Because a shingle is stiff, you can't make it bend. So getting a really good fit from this side to this side and getting the angle correctly is going to be very, very difficult. So what I want to try and do is I'm going to line a piece of paper up with the edge of the roof. And then I'm going to hold it and I'm going to go ahead and crease the paper where that angle is. And then I'll draw a pencil line down. And I'm going to take, then I'll mark where each row of shingles should be. So that way I get the right length of shingle, hopefully cut to the right angle. Okay, so we had that notched over there. Now I'm going to take a straight edge of sorts, lining it up with the paper to give me kind of a straight line. And I'm just going to hurry up and draw some lines over. Just to kind of give us a rough idea of how long this shingle should be. The angles and the valleys of a roof is what takes so long, because you've got all these angles to deal with. All right, so this is going to give us something of an idea of our shingle. So what I'm going to try now is I'll take a shingle, and so this needs to be the top of the shingle, and that needs to be the bottom. So we'll put the shingle so it will cover all my marks. And that's not going to work. What I'm going to have to do is cut this paper. And the paper that I'm using is just a piece of scrapbook paper that I didn't really care for. What I bought these for, because they were in a pack and they were on clearance, I bought them to cut the top of this to fit my jelly jars, and then I could write on it what was in the jar and when I made it. I thought it was a really cute idea, and it does turn out really cute. So that's why I have this paper. So what we want to do is, okay, that looks pretty close. We're going to put our shingle underneath it so that we mark the top of the shingle. And we're going to draw a line. I think what I'm going to do is try this out on a bad shingle. It's a bad shingle because it's all goofy. So let's just go ahead and mark this here, making sure the shingle is straight up and down. Let's go ahead and cut it. See how that's going to fit. Probably should have just used a good shingle, and this probably would have went together a whole lot easier than having to fight this like I am. I think it looks pretty good. I'm going to go ahead and glue this in. Get him glued down. Get another one glued on next to it. All right, we have our first row on here. So what I'm going to do is take this off here and put it on here. Push it down and tape it so that it will keep the shingles flat while the glue is becoming somewhat sticky. And then I'm going to just keep fluctuating between the two roof sections. So I'm going to go ahead and shingle for a while, and then when I get a little bit further done, then we'll bring you back. So this is where I'm going to quit for the day. This side here is done. The porch is all done. I think my ridge cap came out really well. This section is done up to here, and I stopped here because I can't go any further because I need to get the angled shingles in here. And the template that I showed you when we first started doing the angles works really well. I was able to make these angled ones and these angled ones super easy, super fast using this template. Now tomorrow I'm going to put the angled ones on here, and then I can go ahead, by the time I can go ahead and shingle all this up to this point, and then by the time I get there, these will have dried and I can go ahead and get this section shingled. So then on this one here now, I will put the angled ones again on here first and let them dry because it works really, really well with this template. So for today, I think I'm done. I want this to dry, like I said, so they're not scooting around when I'm trying to shingle this part. So it's a new day. We have more shingling to do. These are all dried now, and I can't believe how well that template worked for cutting these angles. So today I want to start out by getting these angles cut, so then while these are drying, we can just work across and get some serious shingling done. Okay, we're going to get the edging, or the angled ones, shingles cut here. Now we're going to use the same template as yesterday. That is my plan. To do that now, I want to see how it fits. I'm going to line up my lines with roof lines, and it looks like it's pretty good. It's pretty much straight against this roof edge, so I'm going to say we're good to use this. Now, to start this, we're going to take this shingle. We're going to hold it up and down as close as we can, and we're going to mark it here. We're going to draw a line along it so I know where to saw, because down here it's not finished. The paper isn't long enough. So then we're going to go ahead and we're going to saw the shingle on that line we just made. Checking to make sure it's smooth, and if need be, trim off some of this extra hairy stuff. And then we have a shingle that looks like that. We're going to put it up here on the line to see how well it matches, and it looks pretty good because the shingles from here, because the angle is going to be the same, we can use the other half of this shingle and put it here, and you can't see it. Well, trust me, we have a good shaped valley. So we're going to go ahead and glue this on. getting it on the roof line and the edge of the roof, and then I'm going to clamp it to hold it. Just because I don't want this one messing all over the place. I'm going to go ahead and mark that first one so I know we have the first one. And just for it won't fit. So we're going to set him aside, take another shingle, and repeat the process. We're going to get the shingle up and down. We're going to get it in the uppermost corner. We're going to mark it. And this time we can mark the bottom. And now we'll go ahead and cut that too. I don't think this is going to help any, but we never know. Okay, so let's go ahead and cut this shingle. And we'll put it on here. And it looks this is the one I just put on, and it looks good and straight. So we'll go ahead and glue this one on. I'm going to bite this one just a little bit to keep him in there. And we'll just keep going, and I'll mark this one so I don't get lost, so I know what angle I'm at. And I'm just going to keep going up the roof that way. So I changed my plan. I was going to just put all the valley edged or valley angled shingles on, but I went ahead and I shingled this whole little balcony type thing. I got this one, the shingles in the valley, and I started on this side. I got him in this valley and I started shingling this side. So now the time consuming and the really difficult parts are done. There's no more shingles to be cut at angles like that. Now I can just go ahead and lay them down. I should get this pretty close to being done today. Good morning. It's a new day. My goal today is to get this side of the house completely shingled. It is doable. It is possible. As long as I don't take too many breaks and don't stand and look out the window wishing it would warm up outside, I can get this thing shingled today. So that is my goal. And then all we got left to do is shingle the backside. Okay, I succeeded with my goal today. I wanted to get this side shingled. I did it. I have this ridge cap left to do and this one left to do, but I want everything to dry. I want the glue to cure before I do any more on it, because I pushed it hard and there's a lot of wet glue. Things are shifting, so I need the stuff to set. So what I did do, because this has been shingled for several days, I took a knife and I trimmed along here, and I got it nice and flush with the edge of the house, and I just sample fitted my trim on here, and you can see how nice that fits there. So now what I need to do is I need to get the back shingled, because I need this ridge cap before I can see how that's going to fit, get it to fit, decide what to do with this overhang here, and then I need to get the rest of the trim cut, and I need to get it all painted, and then we can get this trim on. But the next big thing is to just get this to dry tonight, and then let the rest of this glue all just kind of sit and mellow out and age for a couple of days while I work on shingling the backside. But I'm very satisfied with what I got accomplished today. Thanks for watching. I'll see you soon.